What's going on, everyone? Average Player here, and this is a video that Kaival won't be able to edit because he doesn't really know much about Spright, but this is going to be my, most likely will be my deck profile that I will be using for YCS Rhode Island for Spright. It's going to be full main, side, and extra deck, but it's going to be main, extra, then side deck, like I always do it. Just in case you guys are new to the channel, that's how I do it, and then I always go the main archetype first with everything in the main archetype, and then I do any sub-archetype after that in order of which ones are more important, generally. So, yeah, and then since this deck is a little bit different since what I played last time, and the last deck profile I put out for Sprites, I'm going to explain anything that's different, so. Okay, so 3 blue, 2 jet, 2 red, 1 carrot, 3 starter, 1 double cross. So for this is just standard. Technically, this is the normal you could play. You could take out 1 red and you can play 1 red, but I like to play 2. Because sometimes you need 1 to go through a combo depending on what your hand is. So having a second red there is good, especially since it's good for an interruption. But that's only for going first. Going second, it doesn't really matter as much. So I generally take it off. I'm going second. Or take out 1 red at least. Next is the water stuff. We play 3 froggy, 2 angler, 3 beaver, 1 honorary frog, which is mirror mage, and the freezing chains that goes with it. This is just normal stuff. You want to swap frog, dump mirror mage, freezing change, mirror mage back. Totally awesome. So, yeah. Next, the Fiendsmith engine, which is a little bit different than most Fiendsmith engines are. Because I am playing only 2 engraver, I'm not playing 3. It's not that I don't have 3. Here's my 3rd one. Don't yell at me for not being in a card sleeve. I just took it out. But I only played 2 because I feel like this is all the deck needs, to be honest with you. 1 Lacrima. The 1 Lacrima is normal for everyone. 1 Lurie is normal for everybody. 1 Tract. For me, Tract isn't as important, especially since we're playing Sanct as well. Tract, if you see it, it's good. Then you're just going to draw a discard and then summon back Lurie anyway. But I feel like Sanct is better nowadays, especially since you have Bestials in the format. And because you have Bestials in the format, Sanct is a little bit harder for your initial play to get interrupted with. So that's why I play the Sanct instead. That's why I play this a second Sanct, or 1 Sanct instead of a second what's the word? I played 1 Sanct instead of a second Thrust. Thrust? Tract, sorry. So yeah, that is the main reason, is because not only is, hold on, I'm trying to find another card here. Okay. Not only is engraver searching Tract good, because then you can get Lurie and you can start off with 2 lights in the graveyard right away. But if you do engraver search Sanct, and then you get drolled, you're not stuck, because Sanct can get you that light out, right? Sanct is also just a going first card. This deck is mostly a going first deck, if you notice. So you mostly want to go first with this deck, not second. All of your going second cards are generally in your side deck. So anything that you do see in my side deck is generally all the going second cards that you want. But I'm missing 1 for the Fiendsmith stuff, and 1 Paradise, because you always have that in. That card is borderline just necessary to play in any Fiendsmith package, because not only is it good going first if you draw it. Say, trying to give you guys a good example. Say you draw the Tract, and then you have the engraver as well. So you don't even need Sanct. You can search Paradise. off of the engraver. And then if you go through your full combo, and what you can do is you can just set the Paradise, as you searched it. Not only is it being sent to the graveyard now, and then if your opponent somehow plays after you get rid of everything and they special summon, you can banish it to get your play started for next turn. Or if you are playing that big one and you have the big Fiendsmith Link monster on board, or not Link, Fusion on board, I don't know the name of it, you can still dump the Desiree and just do that, I guess. But Paradise is still just good either way you use it, either by sending it to the graveyard off of Lacrima on your opponent's turn and then banishing it to send Desiree, or having it set to flip to send all their cards on the field to the graveyard, which has actually come up with full board because it's like Desi with 5 negates sometimes 2. A totally awesome sprint. And then I burned through all my negates, right, including like an SP or whatever. All my interactions. And then I flip Paradise, send everything else except for the Desi to the graveyard. Next turn, I use Desi +1, make Agnum Day, and then just OTK. So that's why I feel like Paradise is useful. And then obviously the going second reasons is, you know, if it's in the graveyard, your opponent's going to play on your turn, you banish it, send a card to the graveyard, helps you break boards. But now for hand traps, sorry I went on a little tangent there. I was trying to explain how it was thinking in my head. It's a little late when I'm doing this video, so 3 Ash Blossom, 3 Imperm, 3 Droll, and then the 3 cards that I feel like is important for this deck is going to be the 3 Bystials, 1 Mega Nut, 1 Druid, 1 Baldrake. And the reason why I say that they're important in this deck is because you want to be able to keep at least 1 body on board, because if you make a Link 2, most of the time you're just free. There, either you're going in the Moon, or you're going into like SP, or you're going into something, especially with, you know, Magnamut and Druid, is not only are you going into that card, but you're getting an interruption off, or you're getting a search for your interruption, or whatever it might be, right? But the point of it is trying to put a body on board and keep it there, because there's actually been times where I was playing this deck, and because the other hand trap I was playing instead was Effect Veiler, and Effect Veiler would be good, but to keep their body on board, and would keep me having a body on board, right? Whereas, like, if I have a Bystial, right, I can get something rid of their graveyard, have a body on board. Now, if they say it's Druid, now if they try to deal with it, and they have to deal with repercussions of something being sent to the graveyard. My last card is Called By, as well. I'm going to try to fly through the extra deck real quick, too, as fast as I can, because I suck at trying to fly through things and not explaining. But Links, Sprint, IP, SP, Moon, Goddess, Requiem, Sequence, Agnum Day. As, you know, I feel like this is the best you can do. You don't even need Goddess, but I play it because it's funny to put all the bodies on board. Goddess a part away, right? Or if you're being special, you can Moon, target a card, and then Goddess 2 bodies away of your opponent's cards, and then Dark Ruler them, and then go into the Fiendsmith package and just OTK. That's still kind of funny. But your only main cards, these 3 are your main ones that you want to see all the time, or have all the time, and Moon, and then obviously your Fiendsmith stuff. If you don't want to, you don't have to play Agnum Day, right? Because Agnum Day is really just there to give you either 3 more negates of stuff on board, or it gives you that huge massive attack boost that I use it for OTKing. We have 2 fusions, 1 Necro Quip, and 1 Desi. Don't worry, I'm working on getting this up. I went from a super rare to an ultra rare to a secret rare in one day. XZs, 3 Gigantic, 1 should have been banned, and Cat Shark. As I say, I like the OTK. So you have Cat Shark, Gigantic with an Link material on it, so it's at 32. Cat Shark at 64. Swing, and then on top of having that huge Desi, you're most likely going to win. Alright, now for the side deck. So this is my version, because I was on the last version I was normally siding out 3 Veiler to, you know, play around my issues. But the problem is that when I was siding out 3 Veiler, I was siding another hand trap, not getting a body on board. Now it's like, okay, the Bystials are good against Fiendsmith. What else is going to be good against Fiendsmith, good against Ryziel, and Malice? The Bystials aren't good against Malice, so what can I play instead of that? If I'm playing against Odeon, what can I play that's also good? So Pankratops is very good against Odeon, it's a free body. If they try to negate it, you just chain to the activation of the trap card, tribute itself, and pop something, right? So, you know, you could pop Temple of the King so they can't activate a trap card that turn, or you could pop any one of the trap cards that are trying to activate so they don't go into the main monster zone. Nib, obviously, it's really good against Malice. It's good against Raizu when they play into it, especially if they have the Fiendsmith build. Even in the mirror match against Spright, if somebody doesn't know what they're doing entirely, or they have to, Nib just kills. Any rogue deck, Nib's gonna fall. And then you got Lancia. That's it for the monster cards anyway. You got Lancia, which is just Malice hate, you know. I love Malice, I play it myself, but when I'm not playing Malice at the regional, or not at the regional, at the YCS, I gotta play the hate for it. And next is 3 Metaltronus. The reason why I'm playing Metaltronus is because I have links in here. I got IP, I got SP, you know, I got the Fiendsmith stuff, I got Desi, you know, I even have a Water Beast, I have Water Aquas, you know, so like, Metaltronus is good at getting rid of any one of those cards. Now, if your opponent, if I'm playing Mermail, because they do play a few Water Aquas, I can Metaltronus, target one of their Water Aquas, they can't respond with it, summon Toad from my extra deck right off the bat. Now I have an interruption to deal with the interruption, right? On top of that, I can also summon anything from my deck, so if they have like a Druid on board, or something I can't really deal with, that's like a Nib token, or like it's like a Nibiru that I can't beat over, or something like that, I can Metaltronus, get rid of the Nibiru, whatever it is, right? Or say it's Druid Swarm, I can Metaltronus, summon my Druid Swarm, banish them both. So that's why I play the Tronus. And then going first, win more card. What would I really take out for this? If I really know I'm going to be needing this, and I know I'm going to be going to the point where I'm going to be playing Judgment. Most of the time, it's if I win the die roll and I win that game, I'm generally not going to side this in because I'm going second, right? Whatever. But if it's going to game 3 or I lose game 1, this is going in. What am I siding out? Well, I remember I said I was going to play. I played 2 reds. Well, that's one of them's coming out. You know, and then depending on what the matchup is, you take out other cards. Right? Red in this deck is basically a takeout. If some decks don't care about Droll, so sometimes you take out Droll. You know, it really depends, right? You look through this and it's like, okay, there's a few things you can take out. You know, like you take out one red, you can take out Drolls. You know, hell, if you got a deck, if you're playing against a deck that, you know, doesn't even care about the Bystials, right? Like you're playing against Malice or whatever, you take out the Bystials. You know, there's multiple things you could take out depending on what you're playing against. So you got to take all this into consideration. Right? So that's the Judgment. Because sometimes, like last Sunday, when I had my regional, or the Sunday that just happened, or not my regional, my local, I set 2. Hero player, hero lives, summon Stratos, search, I droll, he goes, cool. He goes, normal summon Vion, I go, Judgment. He goes, well, hopefully you have another one, activate Fusion Destiny. I go, yes, I do, activate second Judgment, he scooped. Because Judgment is just that good. So, yeah, if you're not playing Judgment, play Strike. But this is my deck profile, this is how I play it. And then I'm also going to give you some other options of cards you could play. So if you're not playing Agnum Day, if you're really set on the Metaltronus stuff, you could play a Ryziel Detonator to go along with the Metaltronus stuff. If you don't want to have the Cat Shark and deal with the OTK, right, you can play Typhon. So, yeah, that's basically it. I don't really have anything else for you, other than have you guys see a shifter, but yeah, that's about it. There's nothing really much I can say about the deck. I gave you guys my whole peace of mind about it. This is one of my favorite decks of all time, if not my favorite deck of all time. And because I lost the bet, we can thank Kaival for making the bet with me that Fiendsmith wouldn't get hit on the ban list, and since they didn't get hit on the ban list, I have to play Spright at the YCS. And then I'd also like to thank Card Game Jesus for letting me borrow his tract through the YCS. So, anyway, hope you all have a good day. See you later.